I just want to see a show of hands of anybody who's purchased the property themselves at any point in their lives. Put your hands up. I was expecting a few more. Now keep your hands up if you found that process stressful in some way. Okay, so we have a few. Okay, so on behalf of Besedo, what I'm going to do is go through 9 listings that you should be removing from your website to optimize monetization, but also enhance user experience. But before we do that, let me just introduce myself. So I'm William Singham, sales manager for Besedo for 2 years, based out of our Malaysia Kuala Lumpur office. I've had my own e-commerce website in France that I've run for 6 years, so I understand the importance of content moderation. I've also had a keen interest in classified websites from living in France and seeing the success of Le Bon Coin and following the steps that they've taken from being a totally free website to being able to monetize and now reaching heights of 180 million euros a year in revenue. So just to tell you a little bit about Besedo, for those of you that are not aware, we're a Swedish company. We were founded in 2002. We started moderating one of the Schibsted websites called Blocket, and we still work with them today. We became a world leader in content moderation, really thinking outside of the box. But we started in 2002. I don't think content moderation was a term that was actually known then. But the founders of Besedo saw an opportunity to create a company that would be able to look after the content that was being posted online and focusing mainly at the time on classified websites. Since then, we've come a long way. So we're 600 people with Besedo, 6 offices throughout the world. We had a merger in 2016 with a French company called IO Square. But Besedo, prior to the merger, would be focusing mainly on manual moderation and also our very own SaaS tool. The merger with IO Square, where they specialized in artificial intelligence, that enabled us to really open the door and have an all-in-one solution that we were able to offer to our clients. So the way that we put the level of content risk on different websites, whether we're talking about general classifieds, properties, cars, or dating sites, or sharing economy, we have them as low risk. So low risk is something that would most likely affect the user experience, but not really in a high negative way. Then we have the medium risks. Medium risks are more likely to affect your business in terms of higher bounce rates. And then we have the high risks and the scams. High risk and the scams are something that is very harmful to your users, harmful to your platforms. That can lead to lawsuits, that can lead to very bad reputation online. And that's what we're going to go through today. So we're going to go through the ones that are related directly to property. So when we look at high risk, you'll have something like duplicates that was found at high risk. Duplicates is actually quite an important one because, as somebody mentioned earlier today, if somebody was to post 40,000 listings all from one agent, one property, your users are going to see that, and they're not going to go through 2 or 3 pages, just like they're going to do on Google, so that would drive them away. So low risk, wrong category, that's something that can be easily resolved, but it's not that damaging to your business, but in terms of user experience, it's quite negative. Scams in real estate. So I like to call myself a walking scam detector. I spend a lot of time online. I do a lot of research. If I've reached out to anybody in the room today, which I may have, you'll know that I don't just send you an email, describing Besedo. I really go through in details what it is that we do and where we specialize. If I look at a listing online, I would know more or less instantly if it's a scam of some kind. And I will reach out to the scammers to document it. So that's the kind of steps that Besedo will take. We need to know the ins and outs of the scams. We don't just specialize in, or say that we specialize in scam detection if we don't. Real estate scam, one of the most common ones recently was student accommodation. So the scammers would post an advert online offering accommodation, which is a third or half the price near a university. Students would reach out to them. A lot of the students that are reaching out to these universities are based overseas, so they don't know what's going on. The person will tell them some story about, yeah, the property's available, I've got 6 people that are already interested in it, you need to transfer me 3 months deposit, and then you can pick up the key from the next neighbor. And some people actually fall for them because not everybody is going to be aware of the scams that are online. So scams is definitely one that we try to eradicate it as much as possible, but I think that a lot of portals don't actually take the steps to eradicate scams. I think their focus is widespread, obviously, but it's definitely one that needs to be looked at. Then we have various like internet, related with pictures. Obviously pictures is something that we're going to pick up on a little bit later. Inadequate language, and we have multiple items. Multiple items is quite a tricky one as well, because if somebody has got 10 different properties on one listing, 5 images that are not related, the user doesn't know what he's looking at. No user will pick up the phone and say, hey, I saw your advert, I don't know what you're selling, please tell me. Let's start a conversation. No user is ever going to do that. They're going to find another listing which is for one item, one price, quality pictures, and that's it. Whether that's on your platform or somebody else's, I don't know. But that's something that we need to look at. And then also the right description, undescriptive titles, that's something that we're going to pick up. And then we have on medium risk, pure marketing, which doesn't help a platform that is advertising properties, whether it's from individuals or professionals. And then hidden professionals. Hidden professionals we're going to pick up on as well. And that is something that you're potentially losing money. So let's look at duplicates. As I mentioned, if somebody was to put the same ad with the same pictures, same listing, thinking that putting it 50 times over the course of 2 or 3 pages is going to increase their chances of selling it, it doesn't. What it actually does, it undervalues the product. It gives the website a bad reputation because they know that the ads are not being looked at, and the user is most likely not going to stay on that particular listing or your platform and move on. And 75% of users actually do find duplicates online, and I think we've all seen them. So hidden professionals, that's a tricky one. If you are, it really depends on your platform as well, because not everybody's platform is going to be the same. But on some platforms, you will have individuals that don't pay, and you have professionals that do pay. The professionals will try and cut corners and save money, and advertise on the platform as an individual. 2 things that does is a lot of home buyers want to buy from a professional because they know that that professional will have the networks and the links for financing, for insurances, and stuff like that. And it's also the trust factor. But as a revenue opportunity, that's if you have 3% of your professionals that are not paying, that could cost tens of thousands of dollars a month in terms of lost revenue. Then we have pure marketing. Pure marketing results in a bounce rate. I think that everybody's pretty clear on that. Reducing pure marketing or eradicating it from your website will reduce it. On one of our clients, that was reduced from 35.1%, not only on pure marketing, but down to 14.1%. So poor description. Unfortunately, I do come across ads online when I do my research, where somebody will be like, I'm selling a house. They've got 10 pictures, none of the pictures are related to each other. You've got 2 different kitchens, you've got, front of the house is very different compared to what it's supposed to be. And that is something that is obviously not interesting for the buyers, because they don't want to, again, pick up the phone, call up the seller and say, I saw your ad, it sounds interesting that you're selling a house, but please tell me more about it. So that's something that needs to be looked at. When you look at the comparison between poor description and a good listing, there's obviously a very big difference, and that will mean a difference for your user experience, and also for the professionals, because for them, they want to sell the properties or rent out the properties, and for your users that are coming onto your platform, they want to find what they're looking for. So misleading headlines is an annoyance. 33% of our of the survey that was done found that that was the case, and I think it's obvious when they use too many keywords in the title. They'll put Bangkok, Pattaya, Koh Lipe, but they're looking for a property in Bangkok and they end up in a property in Koh Lipe. It doesn't really interest them. Incorrect photo. So incorrect photo. Anybody who's looked at properties, I think now it depends on the regions as well, but I know that in Malaysia, for example, a lot of the professionals don't want to put actual pictures of the property because they are scared that different agents are going to come along and steal that property. That's something that seems to be an issue, and a lot of the times they'll put a disclaimer in the ad saying, the pictures are for illustration purposes only. And so you don't know what you're looking at. And like I say, from my personal experience, I've actually visited the property that was different to the pictures. You can tell the layout, the kitchen was different. It was the same condo, obviously, but they just used one set of pictures and want to put as many ads online as possible. So what Besedo can do for that is image moderation through artificial intelligence. So we are able to detect things like on this image here, we have the house, obviously the windows, air conditioning units. But it's also if you have a picture of a living room that only has a sofa, for example, it's quite irrelevant to what it's supposed to be in terms of the quality of the images. The image is blurry. If it has people in the images, it has pets, anything like that could be a negative on the quality of the pictures. Our solution can sort that out for you. Wrong categories. So I think there's a lot of times where we look for something and we know that categorization across the board is not just in properties, but in cars, you look for BMW, you end up in Mercedes. You look for rented property, you find properties for sale or vice versa. So wrong category is something that is difficult for users and very negative on their experience. Just before we go into the questions, one thing that you have to remember is that when something is good, you're going to tell a handful of people. But when something is bad, you're going to tell everybody. Now we all know that the buying process of a house is extremely stressful. The last thing that you want is for your users to remember you as the platform that started the stressful process. Any questions? Thank you.
I've always got questions around this stuff, so I think it's absolutely fascinating. What intrigues me is if you've got a portal that's uploading, someone said today they're uploading 250 quarter million.
Yes.
I think it was something, I heard that number, I can't remember, 25,000, it was 25 somewhere. What's the technology behind it to allow you to identify all this stuff that's occurring? And, and then having identified it, how the hell do you let me know?
Absolutely. So through AI, it's all about individual models that are built and trained according to your cycles, your criteria, your do's and don'ts. So when you have a model that is built for image moderation, you can send in 2 million images, 3 million images a day. Only the ones that are highlighted through the actual model for having picked up something. So if it has a face in it, it has a pet, it has a car, anything that is relevant to property would be detected, and then it would either accept the image, refuse it, or have it sent to your manual moderation.
Right. So it goes to a manual moderation type. And you either add a degree of intelligence to that to say, well, it's an image, we've rejected it, and send it back to the person who posted it, and allow them to solve the problem?
Yeah, so through the actual websites, you can have that, but that would be on the portals themselves.
Yeah, of course.
Because they have that system in place where you go back to your user and say, this is not right, that needs to be changed, send it back to us, and then we'll put it through again. If it goes through the system again, and those images have been modified, then it's fine. If they haven't done anything, then just press submit.
Okay. Because one of the things we chatted yesterday about the masterclass is around listing quality. So it's not only so not only do you look at images, you look at the complete listing, the text, and so on to work out whether it's rubbish text or whether it's a good text. You also do not only the analysis of that one listing, but a comparison of that listing to all other listings to identify not only duplicates, but someone who's got similar, you know, they change a few words.
Yes, of course, yeah. When it goes through the system, it looks at, through AI at different data points. So it doesn't have to have a 100% match on data points. If it finds similarities, then it could be that somebody's trying to bypass the system in some way. If, for example, hidden professionals, if they put a Gmail address for the sign up, but in the text they put a, you know, propertyxyz.com, then the system would be able to get up and highlight it as something potentially not right.
Right. So say I'm Paul, I've got a bunch of listings coming in every day. I need to have an external party like yourself to do image verification, so not image, listing verification, identification, flagging of potential issue listings. A, sort of how much does it cost? Roughly. Are we talking about millions? Are we talking about and do I need infrastructure myself, or does it go through, I basically route it through your servers and it comes back?
So it works through an API. For the pricing structure, it does depend on the volumes, obviously. But you know, if anybody wants a quotation, there's no obligation whatsoever. We can pick it up either with JD, my colleague, raise your hand, yeah, or myself, and we can go through the pricing model. But everything is from the AI is custom made. So there's quite a lengthy process in putting it all in place, but it is to ensure that we deliver very high quality. You're able to choose the accuracy levels that you want as well. So if you wanted to have a very, very strict level of quality, like some of our clients have 99.6% accuracy, then that would be reflected on what your actual automation rate will be. Some people prefer a higher automation rate and lower quality and stuff like that.
A related question. How about I say, what language do you serve to categorize the listings automatically? All languages?
Yeah, I mean, for languages, the only language that we have a slight difficulty with at the moment is certain dialects of Arabic. But everything else, all other languages, I mean, we've got projects of onboarding in Russian. We have one that has been live since October in Thai, so language is not an issue really.
Okay. Do you work on, so because the other thing around sort of this sort of protection is also enhancement. You know, this, for example, automated improvement in shadows and shadow removal.
Not as yet, unfortunately. We can detect it, we can highlight it, and have it sent back to the user for the user to be able to rectify it and send it back. But we don't have that solution as yet. So yeah, if somebody wants more clarification around this, reach out to me. I will revert back to our team in Paris and get an answer.
And clearly you're working across residential, commercial, rental, as well as so. How many different sort of online real estate type organisations or people who have at least some real estate listings do you work with?
Well, when we talk about general classifieds, most, if not all, have real estate content.
Yes.
So yes, I mean, when it comes to real estate or cars or anything, we are very experienced in moderating.
Okay. And it's always fun to ask this question, right? What's one of the most interesting scams that you've come across?
Interesting scams. I've actually, I like sometimes when I'm bored, I like to interact with scammers. And I'll tell you a funny story, and this is a true story, and my colleague JD will verify it. I reached out to, it wasn't a property scam, it was fake work or something. We reached out to a scammer. And the guy, I said to him, look, went through the whole conversation, and then he said, you need to transfer me a deposit. And it was somewhere abroad, some looking specified countries, I don't discriminate. So, and I said, look, I know it's a scam. I said, I work for a company that specializes in this. I just wanted to see at what point it was a scam. And it was, after about, quite lengthy, I think it was about 30 or 35 email exchanges. I got an email from this guy, and I said to him, because he said to me, I'm a person of God, I wouldn't do this, I'm not a scammer. And I said, well, if you are, God will punish you. I got an email from this guy about 4 months later, saying to me, you were right. I was a scammer. But I have now, I guarantee you, I swear to God, I've stopped everything. But he was explaining to me that in his country's financial situation is very difficult, and that's one of the easiest options that they find. But I think it was quite moving because he owned up to it. I mean, for 4 months we didn't exchange any contacts. He just felt the need. I don't know if he was able to sleep or not. He just felt the need to reach out to me. So that's an interesting story. But yeah,
interesting. Calm as a bitch.
Exactly.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And thanks to the Besedo guys for sponsoring this.